So what happened today? Got off to a less than ideal start just by being late and not fully prepared for the day, and that's just because went into the whole race and everything maybe with the wrong mindset, like just being too calm about it all. Aside from that, you know, it's a race where you actually just want to see where are you at with open water swimming. So I didn't take transition time into account, which is good because these events aren't always suitable for para-triathletes. So I just take my time for the swimming, and meaning I record it actually, and for the cycling separately, and I don't take into account the transition. Yeah. So after the swim, I have to, in the shallow waters, I first have to take off my leg splints, and then I have two helpers that actually carry me to my bike. And that stretches about, today it was probably about 300 meters, slightly incline over grassy terrain, and that is quite tricky for two people to carry myself. I'm not the lightest person that there is, so that is also very tiring for the people that help me, and it takes a lot of time. I think in transition number 1, which is from the swim to the bike, we took probably around 15 minutes.
Talk us through what's going through your head.
That I should hurry up. It's difficult when things aren't set up obviously properly, like your bag isn't racked and your bike isn't racked. You have to get dressed in a field. But it's still fun though. I think it teaches you to be prepared, to get your things ready, not like us be late for the race. But that was not a good swim. It was horrible. I think I'm not used to, I'm more used to the longer distance stuff. And this was a quick 650. Sighting in open water and swimming in a pool is a lot different. Yeah, let's come on. Just shows you need to simulate these things more before you just jump into a big race. And that's exactly why we are doing these shorter sprint distance races, is to practice the transition, picking up the pace. The one lady shouted transition as part of your race as well. But if you take that out of the whole race, it's still a very fun event to do. You can see how you perform in open water, you can see how you perform on the bike, and I wish I could have done the run course. I maybe should have just taken my chair with and just go on the road even, and then record that time, and then I can have a realistic time how I would perform in a sprint event. Although we are building up to the full Ironman, we are doing the Half Ironman before that, but there is also nationals for Para-Triathlon in February, so that is also a sprint event, and I obviously need to be at a certain level with my time for that. But looking at today's time, I think it wasn't too bad. But given where my fitness is at and how the event was structured, I don't think it was that bad at all. I'm oftentimes way too hard on myself, and I expect a lot of myself, which is unrealistic given the situation. But it was a training exercise, and if you look at it that way, I'm actually very happy with the result. So the hours that I do train, I'll just have to be as efficient as possible, and not actually just have to bump up the hours of training per week, if that makes sense. So you just have to get in the zone, do your session, and make sure do what is asked of you on that day. And that's pretty much all that you can do in preparation for, your Ironman. In conclusion, I realized that to do the full Ironman or just even East London half Ironman, I'm gonna have to step up my game like so much more. Oh, and our next video we'll just explain actually what we are working towards and all our goals and aspirations for 2020 coming up.